The Mule is here. I wasn't planning on making a video this weekend, but I thought I should just put out a little bit of a reaction video to Apple TV Plus's Foundation Series 3, Episode 1. Way back in 2023, July, that's almost 2 years ago, it was at the end of July, I did 3 episodes on the Foundation books and comparing it to Series 1 and Series 2 of Apple TV Plus's Foundation. This is very early on in my channel's history, and so I'm a bit stilted there. Maybe still am. But I thought that I would just refer to those as a place where you could go back and see some of the comparisons I made to the novels. But now the Mule is here. Why do I think it's so important that the Mule is here? Ultimately, in these novels, they were collections of short stories and novellas. They were fix-up novels, is what we would call them. Isaac Asimov started writing these stories in 1942 and finished them somewhere around 1948 or 49. In 1942, during World War II, Asimov was only 22 years old. I find it interesting that he was thinking about empires during World War II, imagining psychohistory, a way to try to predict the future, at least predict the future scientifically. I'm guessing the unrest of the world at that time and the Cold War that followed played heavily into his psyche in terms of the creation of psychohistory. But once again, let's pull back to The Mule. Episode 1, if you've watched it, introduces the Mule as a character here, present, in the time that's being covered. We have a time jump of 152 years from the previous season. We see the Mule single-handedly take over a key planet. And I was surprised at the brutality that the TV show brought to this takeover. In the novels, there's a much more subtle, behind-the-scenes introduction to the Mule. The other thing that was surprising to me is the physical portrayal of the Mule. At the end of Season 2, we had a flash-forward or vision of the Mule coming. Now, the actor has changed, and I think this actor, Pilu Azbak, is doing a great job. His calm confidence was terrifying. He's a powerful mutant, a mentalic, that has mind-controlling abilities that are extensive. I think Season 3, Episode 1, opening with the Mule, set the tone for the entire series. In fact, this promotional image here shows how central the Mule is to this season. We're going to be seeing lots of the Emperors and Foundation, but the idea that there's only 4 months before they would fall into darkness because of the Mule, it's one of those foreshadowing elements, but it's also a threat just lying underneath the surface that's just going to drive the tension of the season. It's taken 2 years of establishing this universe to get to this point, but this really is the heart of the Foundation series. Now, you can go to my earlier videos if you want to find out some of the differences between the books and the series. One of the things I'll say is, in the books, there's some interesting ways that we see the Mule, the way that the Mule is revealed. I'm very curious to see if the series itself will play with some of these plot points from the books. If you're reading through the 3 books, the 3 original Foundation books, we're starting now about halfway through the 2nd book, and then we'll be getting into the beginning of the 3rd book. If I had to guess, I would think that Season 3 is not going to complete the storyline of the Mule, that we're having the establishing moments and driving force that the Mule will provide to the rest of the plot. I expect it to be quite a big cliffhanger by the end of the episodes for Season 3. Now, one of the reasons that I started thinking a little bit about the Mule before the season even started is I was made aware that there is a game called Foundation, Galactic Frontier. I had a cold contact, an email from one of the people who work for Galactic Frontier. They wanted to make me aware that this game exists, and here you can find it on the internet. If we go to the menu at the top and look at the Legends section, here you can see they have the characters for the game, but also the important characters from the TV series. And that's actually just really 2 people here. Of course, there's Harry Seldon. While people sang of the Galactic Empire's eternal prosperity, Harry Seldon, the great mathematician, stood up. He founded Psychohistory, foreseeing the Empire's collapse in 3 centuries and a 30,000-year barbaric age. He set up the foundation through the Selden Plan, which continues to guide his followers after his physical form has deceased. In the series, by the way, we do see an AI of Harry Selden, and there does seem to be some sort of a physical Harry Selden as well. Then we go through some of the characters who are game characters. But we finally end on this mysterious character. Very interesting artwork for this one. Biological characteristics. Physical contact is ineffective. He's presumed a blank individual. Things still are being discovered here. This Foundation game is connected to the Apple TV Plus series. It takes place somewhere between the second and the third series. His abilities, extremely powerful. We already know psychic abilities can influence human behaviors. Identity is unknown. No records of the Mule can be found. It's hostile to all humans and an extremely antisocial personality. That's currently in the game, it's attacking a character for information about Second Foundation. So even in this game, underlying the play of this game, we can see the hand of the Mule. You can find this at foundation.game. I'll have a link to it in the description of this video. One last thing I'd like to say about the TV series is that it does change many things from the novels, but in many ways I don't think they could have filmed it the way the novels were written, as stories or novellas linked together. They had to find a way to have some continuing plot points going through the series, and I think that that's why they changed the Emperor into these clone versions, this dawn, day, and dusk. It allows these actors to continue from season to season. The same with Gale and Harry Selden. They needed to be present more than they were in the books. And this is really a prestige series. The visuals are stunning, and the acting so good. So if you can accept that there's the framework of plot points from the Foundation series present in this series, but go along for the ride with the story changes that they've made, I think you'll enjoy it a lot. So I'm going to continue watching the series, and if I have a reaction to one of the episodes, I'll film another reaction episode, I guess you could call this. So until next time, keep watching.